I'm here with Ashley Lucas. Ashley's been a client of Barley Insurances for, 18, 19 years since we started up the business. And we created the Land Rover 4x4 cover, and because Ashley has been our long-term client, we thought we'd have a quick catch-up meeting with Ashley and also introduce the 4x4 cover to new insureds. So now what I'm going to do is just go through the cover and explain what the cover does. We actually designed the cover 18,
you want me to stay in here?
Yeah,
okay.
We'll leave that bit in. We'll call that a blooper, I think. The cover has been in existence for 18, 19 years, and we created it when we first started Barley Insurances because we knew that there was a need for the cover all that time ago. I think it was Peter Barley, all those years ago, actually introduced me to the concept of having a four-wheel drive cover through the New Zealand Four-Wheel Drive Association. And so we went to work and we approached all the insurance companies out there, including all those that work on the direct market, the likes of State, Tower, AMI, AA. And when I presented the concept to all the insurers, every single one of them said no. So I thought that was it, and then one day Lumley General actually approached me and said, John, what we can do is actually import the cover to New Zealand from Australia. And the cover had actually been arranged for Land Rover, would you believe, in Australia. Okay. But within a 3-year period, it had actually written itself off or burnt itself out because the amount of claims that were coming in were actually exceeded the premiums earned. So they gave it to us on a trial basis. And what I did was, because we were only offering it to members of the Four-Wheel Drive Association, and because of the Four-Wheel Drive Association's good training practice, we knew that we were on a real winner from the point of view of reducing the risk and the probabilities of losses. So here we are today. We are actually dealing with claims, which about 30-40% of total written premium, and the premiums haven't increased now for 10 years. So that's a pretty good result when you look at the ebbs and flows of the insurance market and what it does, and that's why we want to continue it. The cover itself is actually very comprehensive. It's like a comprehensive motor vehicle policy, giving you on-road cover and also off-road cover. And the beauty of it is that you can also use your vehicle commercially off-road. So if you actually own a business, like Ashley owns his own business, he can actually take this vehicle off-road, use it for commercial purposes, and it's fully covered. One of the other things that we get asked about is, does the cover only exist when you're actually out on a club event? No, it actually exists when you want to go out and off-road yourself. Like, say, Ashley here, how many times a year do you go off-road, Ashley?
Oh, I lose count.
By yourself?
Oh, you sometimes go out and have a little look at little places and so forth. So, yeah, you might be out a couple of times a month.
Okay, so just like Ashley, you as the insured, you're going to go off-road as well. We cover your vehicle off-road for personal, private use as well. So it's very, very comprehensive. The policy is actually in two parts. One, it covers damage to the vehicle, and it also covers damage to third-party property. The most important aspect of that is if you're actually off-road and you have a motor vehicle accident off-road and you hit a tree and a fire starts due to that accident, the motor vehicle policy will pay for the damage that you caused to the vehicle, but also the cost of extinguishing the fire should a fire start because of the accident to the vehicle. i.e. hit a tree, etc. Ashley, do you think that's valuable for you? That's having that level of cover?
Oh, fire cover is very, very important,
Yeah.
especially with trying to get access into forests these days.
Yeah.
It's getting harder and harder, and you just look at the costs when they have to go and fight a fire.
Right. Yeah, and because I've heard stories as well where sometimes the cost can be in excess of $100,000.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the other thing with the Four-Wheel Drive Association as well is that they're very environmentally conscious, and they don't want their members going out into the forest not having the appropriate level of cover. Ashley mentioned earlier as well that one of the big issues out there is crossing over rivers. Now, from my experience, when people talk to me about crossing over rivers, they say, is my vehicle covered? And I say, well, it is on the basis that you don't drop the clutch and stall the motor and ingest water into the motor. You called it, what's the term for that? Hydraulicking?
Hydraulic.
Yeah, okay. Hydraulicking is not insured, okay, if you drop the clutch and you stall the motor. So, but if, like in Ashley's case, for example, if you drive the vehicle through a river and you accidentally drop one edge into a hole that you didn't know was there and the vehicle turns turtle, then the damage to the vehicle is fully covered. We have a number of other extensions as well on the policy, which is windscreen damage, but the windscreen is not covered whilst off-road. The excess on the windscreen is $750 anyway, whilst off-road. So therefore, from my experience, a windscreen for this type of vehicle, you're not going to be paying $750 for it anyway. It's only going to be about $300. So that's going to fall under that excess. The other big issue, Ashley, is in regards to recovery of vehicles. And I know that you guys have been really involved with that, because one of your members actually asked me, and I think you also did as well, is our vehicle covered for the damage that we may cause to third-party vehicles in the process of recovery? And so how does that actually work from a four-wheel driver?
Well, it's interesting. I don't know if we've actually got to the bottom of that one yet, but if you're recovering somebody and you damage their vehicle, we're not sure how that really affects and comes into it.
Okay.
But it's a concern amongst a lot of people.
Cool, thank you. The good news is that the damage to third-party property through that recovery action is covered under the motor vehicle policy. And I don't know whether you're actually on the tour or not, but some years ago there was a Suzuki that dropped down a Tomo, and they needed 3 vehicles to pull that vehicle out of the Tomo, and it burnt out 3 winches to do it. Now, the recovery action on that vehicle was covered, and also the damage to those winches was also covered. So that was a very comprehensive policy, and it really, really works. What about from the point that somebody who's new into the four-wheel drive arena, and he's got, say, a shiny vehicle? What sort of questions do you think he would want to have answered?
Well, if he's looking for insurance for his vehicle, he wants to know that he's going to be covered, and then if he slides because he hasn't quite got the right tyres on and the conditions of such that he's been caught out and slides into another vehicle, that he's not going to be hit up with thousands of dollars because that vehicle just happened to be a Mercedes or a BMW or something like that.
Okay. So one of the other things that we need to consider as well is the value of the vehicles. Okay. And the new person who comes on board with his shiny vehicle, this topic comes up regularly because many people aren't aware about what the value of the vehicle is. And we insure the vehicles for market value. We do not insure the vehicles for agreed value. What would this vehicle be worth?
I went and got valuations done on my vehicles because I've got my other Camel insured with you as well under the off-road cover. So I went and got valuations on them. So I've got this covered for 18 with all its accessories and stuff on it.
So do you feel a lot more comfortable having the valuations?
I went and got the valuation because I've had this vehicle long term, and because of its perceived age, people like to write it down. So I thought, well, so everybody knows, I know what the vehicle is worth, and so I got a valuer, and it only cost me a couple $100 to get both vehicles valued, a written valuation that I was able to present to you, and as to what the value of the vehicle, and that's the cover that I keep on it.
So having your vehicle insured for the correct value is really, really important, because one of the things that we don't want to have happen with any of our clients is for the client to have a misunderstanding about what their vehicle is worth in the event of total loss. And fortunately, touch wood, with the way that we manage that, it's all worked out really well, and people now understand exactly what they're insured for. So I trust that this presentation has helped you to understand the cover that we are offering and what we're prepared to offer to you as a member of the Four-Wheel Drive Association and their member clubs. Please don't hesitate to contact us on the phone or by email, john@barley.co.nz, and we will be more than happy to assist. You can also find us on, what do you call it, your forum pages?
Oh, there's various four-wheel drive forums. Off-Road Express gets discussed on, New Zealand Four-Wheel Drive forum, and then there's a number of Facebook pages relating to four-wheel drives.
Which is the best one?
I hate a lot of these social media sites. I want to go off with the bush.
So which one do you think, though, gives most value for money?
They've all got their usefulness in certain areas, and they've all come up with that one question: where do you go for off-road insurance? So whether it's on Facebook, on say NZ Off-Roader, or one of the Pacific vehicle manufactured forums, or Off-Road Express being the website-based forum, or New Zealand Four-Wheel Drive email forum, they've all can answer the questions, and you'll all find people that ask the question and they get told straight away, go to Barley's.
Awesome. Thank you for the endorsement. Great. Thank you very much.